My perfectionism is killing my momentum. And if you're in a season of becoming, slowing down, choosing peace, and building a life that feels intentional, you are so welcome here. And I cannot wait to share my journey with you guys. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing start to the year. As you can see from the title of this video, I thought it'd be the perfect time to reflect on year 27, as I've now just turned 28, and express that this year did not change me loudly, it changed me quietly. And turning 28 taught me a lot about peace, boundaries, money, and just trusting myself. These are not my rules, they are just reflections on 2025, on my last year as 27. And if you're in a season of choosing calm over chaos and building that dream life, you are so welcome here. And I cannot wait to share my journey as I become a better version of myself. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below, because you know I'll be there responding to every single one. Subscribe to this channel if you guys enjoy this sort of content, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I have grouped my 27 lessons into specific categories. So we're going to start off with category 1, which is myself and identity. Now, number 1 for me is you do not have to be seen by everyone, only by the right people. I've chosen to put myself into spaces where I feel celebrated, where I feel wanted, and it's really important that you're putting yourself in spaces that are gonna ultimately drive you into the right direction of where you want your life to go. This also ties into my second lesson, which is peace is a form of success. As much as we want to do the whole hustling and being out and choosing to be out there and amongst all the chaos, I really find a lot of success in my peace. And with that, I mean, I feel successful when everything is calm. I feel like I have achieved something when I'm amongst peace. And I think it's something you should all reflect on. Do you prefer seeing success as chaos or as peace? For me, it's the peace, the calm, tranquility. It's traveling to places and feeling like I am on a retreat, not having to worry about what I am doing next or being perfect at everything. And I think that also leads on perfectly to my next lesson, which is consistency beats intensity every single time. And this is one I have been trying to maintain. I think I have, in some aspects of my life, maintained consistency, but in the one true thing, my deepest desire of being, I have not been. So I think I'll be taking that lesson into year 28, which is now. I'm really trying to push forward my consistency in everything that I do. I know I can say from the health of my hair, I have stayed consistent with my routine. In terms of my physical appearance and my body, I've really tried to hone in on staying consistent with my workouts and taking a lot more care of my body and health and well-being. But in other aspects of life, I have fallen off a little. So I think one of my main goals for 2026 is to remain consistent and really try and push that into my career and ultimate lifestyle. Now, point number 4, which I think is the most important point, and I think you guys should all add this to your list of lessons and one that you really want to push forward, and I think it also ties into consistency as well, is my perfectionism is killing my momentum. And this lesson was actually one that I've learned through another YouTuber. She was talking about how one of her friends was on the phone to her and telling her, like, you are just one of the best creators, but you are not pushing out content enough because you want it to be so perfect. And it's so true. I resonated with that point so much. It was a lesson I have learned, and I need to stop being so perfect at everything, because it really is slowing down my momentum. It's slowing down my content output. It's slowing down a lot of things in life. And ultimately, I have one goal, and that goal is to be successful. So I really need to continue pushing out content, continue maintaining my goals, maintaining my lifestyle, and being consistent at it, so I can ultimately see the results from that. Now, point number 5, I think, is a really good point, and I think a lot of us tend to lack this, and it is confidence. And I find when it's quiet, it's real. I think a lot of people think that being confident is walking into a room and being the loudest voice in there, but if we realistically think about it, the most confident in the room are the quiet ones, the ones who are sure of themselves, who are certain in themselves, who trust themselves. And that's what I'm walking into 2026 with. It's being confident in every single decision that I make, being confident in every single path I walk on, and being sure of myself and no longer having doubt. I'm gonna stop with that one. 28, we are staying confident in ourselves. Lesson number 6 is that not everything needs a reaction. And I feel like this lesson I have carried on throughout the years. I tend to have small little hiccups with my sister. We would go into a little argument and I'd react and I would find myself heated and angry for no reason. But actually what I need to do is learn how to reassess the situation, stay calm and not overreact. And I find that with the lack of reaction or overreaction, there tends to be a resolution. Focus on the outcome and how you really want it to go and try not to react instantaneously. Now, point number 7 is one that I've been trying to really understand a bit more and also appreciate the beauty of, and that is that you can outgrow people without villainizing them. And it's so true, and I think this has also been something I've always been able to do. Outgrowing people is absolutely fine. Those friendships sometimes are just there for a season, and if you flick through a book, you'll often find that each chapter may not include every single character, and that's just how life goes. I'm super grateful for the friendships I've had. I'm super grateful for the relationships I've experienced, and I'm choosing to walk away from them with a lesson that's learned and a positive experience that I remembered from that relationship or friendship. Now, category 2 for me is work, money and success, and I think this is probably one of the most monumental lessons I've learned this year, and I categorize them all because it's so important for me to reflect on each aspect of my life every single year. Now, one thing you guys over here on YouTube don't know is that I lost my job in 2025. I was 27 years old. I thought that this was the job of my dreams. I was working at Condé Nast, as most of you guys know, but unfortunately, due to a restructure in the company, I was made redundant. It wasn't because I was bad at my job. It wasn't because I was a nuisance at the company, or at least I don't think so, but the direction of the company did not align with the direction of my career and goal, which is, I think, a really great segue onto point number 1 of this category, which is alignment makes money feel lighter. And I think once you align with what your goal is and you align with what you are dreaming and aspiring to be, money does feel lighter. It comes in easier. It flows consistently. And I think that's one thing I'm trying to reset in my mindset. It's that while right now I may not be having money flowing in as consistently as I did before on a monthly basis, I know that I'm aligning with exactly what I want in life, and for that I know money will flow so much easier. And I feel like money tends to be a really tough topic for people to discuss, but it's really important to be open with yourself and honest about where you are in life and also how you want things to go and what success feels to you. And so with that being said, point number 2 is being busy is not the same as being effective. Just because you have a calendar and a diary full of appointments, meetings, dinner dates, lunch dates, coffee dates, it does not necessarily mean that your busy schedule is aligning with your end goal, nor is it being effective enough to reaching your goals. So I think it's so important to really consider, do the plans I have right now align with my end goal? And that is something I'm really thinking of right now. Is it that I'm too busy that I can't focus on achieving my goal? Is it that I am too busy to focus on my goal? Or is it that I have enough time to really focus and make sure that I'm doing the things that are effective enough to achieve my goals? Now, I think I have struggled with this one because I am considered a nano influencer and such a small creator on the world of content creation that I tend to have a lot of brands questioning my pricing, my rate, and just how much I value myself. And so that leads on to my next point, which is you do not need to explain your prices. Everything that you value yourself at is exactly that. Simple as that, period. Clock it. And the same goes to any job that you are applying to. If you think you are worth £50,000 a year, then you go forward for a job that is £50,000 a year, because they will see the value in you. And also, if you're finding that your self-worth and value is being questioned, then that is just simply not the job, the role, the brand deal that is for you. And it's so important that you maintain your self-worth and value, because that's always going to be reflected in the work that you do, the content that you put out, and the way you show up. And that is one of my most important lessons I have been really trying to maintain and just believe in myself more. And I think that takes a lot of self-worth and belief, but it's ultimately within you. So be sure of yourself, be confident in yourself, and know that you are worth that, period. Okay, Right, we're sticking with that this year. 2026, you are worth every single penny that you think you are. Remember that one, girl. The next one is rest is part of your productivity. Go on that holiday, take that nap. Do not feel like you have to rush with every single second and minute of the day. Your rest is so important. You are so deserving of rest, and you are so deserving of your own time, and build that into your routine. It's so important that you rest, and ultimately your health comes first. Now, I have found, especially because of how slow my growth has been online, that slow relationships are actually more important and they matter more than the small wins. And I say that with a lot of doubt and discouragement that I've felt throughout the years of trying to achieve my goals. And sometimes I find myself choosing to give up when I feel like I'm not winning. But ultimately, when I reflect and look back on my past, I end up thinking to myself, actually, that you've achieved so much more than you could ever think of. You are so much further than you could ever know. And it's because of those long-term relationships I've built, people that I've networked with, the brands that I've created content with, they consistently come back. Now, I love my next point here, and that is taste is a skill. I find that it compounds. Now, when I say taste is a skill, we're looking at the taste makers, the people who are ultimately calling the shots because they just know it's gonna work. They just know that it's a reflection of their whole being. And I am really trying to move into that direction this year and just focus on being a tastemaker rather than a trend follower. It's a great skill to have. It's something that a lot of people seek, and that people tend to gravitate towards you more when you have a different sense of style or a different taste. And lastly, as part of my work, money and success category, I find that your perspective is 100% part of your value, and having a different view on things to the way everyone else thinks is such a strong skill. It's what makes you different. Now, moving on to the next category, which I absolutely love, is relationships and boundaries. Now, a lot of people tend to misunderstand the meaning of boundaries, and I think around 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago now, where I actually really understood the meaning of boundaries for me. And boundaries are going to be completely different to everyone. But I think one thing we all need to remember is that boundaries protect your softness and not your ego. Having boundaries ultimately is supposed to protect you and allow you to align with what you choose to align with. You don't have to follow the norm. You also don't have to conform to what society says. You have to create those boundaries that are going to protect you from what you do not want to consume. And I think it's so important that you really emphasize putting in your boundaries in place to protect your peace ultimately, and also your softness. Now, this one has been a really hard lesson to learn, and I feel like I'm carrying this on into this year, especially because I tend to allow people to walk over me, and I hate the feeling, right? I'm sure we all do. It's not because I'm a weak person. It's not because I'm too kind. I just need to remember that people will always treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So if you do not like when people raise their voices at you, respectfully remove yourself from the situation, but also emphasize that you don't appreciate being spoken to in that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely fine to emphasize that. So remember that people are always going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So don't forget what you do allow and what you don't, and set your boundaries there. Next thing, and I feel like a lot of people have been saying this on TikTok recently, is you do not need closure to move on. Just dead it there and leave it. That is done. I feel like I used to be one of those girls, when I'd have a breakup, I'd be like, yeah, I need to send a closure message. No, I just wanted to hear from that person. Let's be realistic, right? Closure, girl, you do not need that. You do not need that. 2026, there is no such thing as closure. The only thing that we're going to be closuring is our zippers on our dresses, because we're going to fit in those dresses comfortably. So no more closure. No more closure. We are done with that. 2026, there's no such thing. Period. Lesson number 4 for relationships and boundaries is, I know you guys love a little bit of chemistry, and I feel like I'm always giving this advice to my younger sister and my cousins and all my friends who are dating. Right now I'm single, but chemistry without safety is not love. Clock it. I hope you guys are listening clearly. Chemistry without safety is not love. So you may feel infatuated, you may feel like you wanna you're not doing that. unless you feel safe. And it's so important that the person that you choose to be with is a positive reflection of you, is respecting your boundaries, is safe, is kind, is loving, is caring. I want you guys to move with love, with safety in mind. And lastly, friendships should feel calm, not competitive. I feel like I had to let go of a friendship that felt like I was competing with. Their achievements should be your achievement. Their celebrations, their wins, everything and above should be yours too. And I feel like I had to move away from a friendship when I was celebrating their wins consistently, but I wasn't receiving the same celebration back. So it's so important that the friendships you choose are a reflection of the way you choose to be a friend. Your wins should be celebrated just as equally as theirs. Now, our next category is lifestyle and soft living. Now, this one, I am not missing out on this year. I feel like I fell off halfway through 2025. Like I was taking major care of myself and then I just let myself go. The nails were looking horrible. The skin was raking out. I'm sure you guys can see we've got a little bit of a breakout under this makeup. The hair we did take care of. The body, I had gained a ton of weight. I'm now just about losing weight now, which is great, and I feel confident in myself. But I think for my lifestyle and soft life, I am definitely going to be taking routines into 2026. I'm definitely going to be making sure that I stay consistent with a routine this year, and that means waking up slightly earlier than I usually do, fueling my body with food that is good for me, going to the gym and staying consistent with it, doing all of my beauty maintenance, getting my nails done, my hair done, my lashes, getting myself a massage, shower routine, putting on my body oils, and just feeling like the girl that I am, not want to be am. Also, your environment is your mindset. So right now I feel like my room is a great reflection of me. It's warm, it's cozy, it's feminine. I have my vision board up there behind me, which is just a reflection of who I'm becoming and who I am and how I want my life to look like. I have everything that I could possibly need. I am the ultimate soft girl. And my room is always clean. It's so important that you clean your room because it's ultimately going to be a reflection of what's happening up here. And if you do not have a clean room, just know your room is a reflection of your mind. Now, the next point for me is luxury. Luxury should not feel forced, nor should it feel hurried. Feeling luxury is a reflection of your mindset. Now, number 4, and that is less consumption equals more satisfaction. And with that, I mean, you do not need to be scrolling on TikTok for 4 to 5 hours every single night, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're doom scrolling and it's not going to get you to where you want to be, nor is it going to make you feel happy. You're going to be looking at everyone else and saying, wow, their lives look so amazing, and feeling super terrible about your own life. And that's not how you want to be feeling when you're scrolling online. So less consumption, more satisfaction. And the last point in this section is silence is incredibly powerful. I say that to say you don't need to be the loudest person in the room, and I think I've said this point already before, but again, I'm really emphasizing that sometimes being the quietest in the room doesn't mean you're not confident. It's actually confidence, and most of the time not being the most overpowering in the room is a reflection of your confidence. So silence is golden. My last category is growth and future you, aka me, aka you. And I actually set everyone a goal on my birthday. I was sat in my living room with my whole family, and I got everyone to say one word, and that word is the word that they're going to carry through 2026, and it's their word of the year. And for me, my word of the year was trust. So crazy that I actually said this before I wrote down my 27 lessons, but you actually become more powerful when you trust yourself. And it was so funny when I said that, because trust to me is trusting in God. It's trusting in every decision that I make. It's having that trust and faith that everything is going to work out no matter what. I'm going to make it work out. So it's just trusting and believing in every single decision that you make in life, and you will become that successful powerhouse that you are dreaming of becoming. You're going to be way more successful than you could ever think of, and that's because you trusted in yourself. So really trust every decision that you make in life, and if you do trust the people around you, stick around them too. Also, point number 2, and I find that in my time of trying to make it and grow my social media platforms, I have forgotten about this, and I think it's one of my biggest lessons as well. I'm definitely carrying into this year, and that is everything gets so much easier when you stop forcing it. And it's so true. It's so true. Don't force anything in life. Just trust that it's all gonna work out. All I need to do is just literally take a deep breath, take a step back, and remember that everything is always gonna work out. And my last point aligns so perfectly with everything that I've spoken about, which is you're allowed to want more. Just want it gently. Don't want it forcefully and don't want it aggressively. Just want, and trust me, everything will come true. Everything will work out. You're gonna get that job that you've been thinking about. You're gonna buy the house that you've been dreaming about. Just want it. All you need to do is just want it. And I think that comes to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys are looking at my life lessons as reflections and something that you guys can take into this year to build on and grow throughout this year and become the best versions of yourself. Build those dream businesses, get that dream job, become the best version of yourself, and just make it. And I am so excited for the journey. I'm also going to be sharing my journey and everything that I'll be doing in 2026. I also have something really exciting I'm working on, which I probably won't speak about yet. I'm still in the preliminary stages of it, but once I have got a full picture of where it's going, I will elaborate more. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in my next one. The next one should be a vlog, so we'll see what we're getting up to on that one. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I love you guys so much. See you in my next one. Bye.